APMvideo.com is on the air, and today we're coming to you from Goodyear Baseball Park on this October 18th as the BTOP Ballers play host to the Seattle Royals. And I'm Jeff Lowry with APM Video Sports. Glad to have you with us. We had a chance to talk to these two gentlemen before today's game.
I'm Josh Nichols. I'm from Oklahoma City, and I'm the BTOP guy, as people know me, baseball training for older people. This is actually a really special year because this is our first BTOP team we've ever put together. So this group started out as just an online thing, and all us old guys supporting each other, and Silky had an idea to put together a team, and so here we are, fighting every game right now. So hopefully we'll have a good one today.
What's it been like playing with this special group of guys? Love
it, dude. Love it. Meeting guys that I've communicated with online. Some of them are former players that I've played with before, and some of them are guys that I've communicated with strictly through the BTOP group. And so just getting to get out here with them and be on the same field with them in person and not behind a screen is pretty cool. So, yeah.
Hi, my name's Drew Holes. I'm with the Seattle Royals, 40+. We're down here. Half our guys are from kind of Seattle, and half are from down here in Arizona. We come down every year. Love the atmosphere. Fun. Play teams from all over the country, and especially when we get an opportunity to play here at a stadium game like we are today.
Tell us about who your starting pitcher is.
Our starting pitcher is Brandon Witz. He's a longtime PSSBL player up in the Seattle area. Recently moved down to Arizona. Plays year-round, and hoping to get a good start out of him. We need some length today.
All right, Josh Garcia will start things off here for the Seattle Royals. And a beautiful but very warm day here in the Valley of the Sun. Temperatures in the mid-90s. We should get up to close to 100 degrees at the hottest point of the day. The first pitch of this afternoon affair is taken inside, ball one, and we're underway. Ready, the next offering, and in there for a called strike. Got a good catalyst at the top of this lineup for Seattle. Good speed. He's a guy that will get on base for you more times than not. Our first pitch at 12:35. Steve Healy winds, kicks, and delivers, and he hit the first batter that he faces, and so Seattle is off and running here in the top of the first inning. Steve Healy winds, kicks, and delivers, and he hit the first batter that he faces, and so Seattle is off and running here in the top of the first inning. Now John Anderton, the second place hitter in the lineup. Runner started to go and elected to stay put, and the first offering is outside, ball one. Goodyear Ballpark opened up in 2009 for the Cleveland Indians. And then a year later, the Cincinnati Reds joined them. So after a quick meeting of the minds, the next delivery is upstairs. Steve Healy is trying to get his bearings on this stadium. And we were mentioning that the Indians opened up this place in 2009, and then a year later, Cincinnati also moved from Florida to the Grand Canyon State. That one is up and in, and Steve has fallen behind the first two hitters. 345 down the left and right field lines, 380 to the gap, 410 straightaway central. No score, top of the first. And the delivery, and it's in there. Belt-high fastball on the outside corner, a quality pitch there. Well, let's see if Seattle maybe puts that runner in motion here to stab a possible double play. And instead, it's going to be high, ball four. So a couple of free passes here issued by the Ballers. Rafael Ricanashoto will be the third place hitter. Right-handed hitter all the way against the right-handed pitcher. It's not that he's thrown a lot of pitches so far in this game, but obviously in a little hot water, a nice little ground ball double play would help the cause here for the Ballers as he misses outside, and for the third hitter in a row, fails to get ahead. in the count. And a ball hammered to left field and down the line. That's going to get by the left fielder. 1 run will score, most likely 2. Let's see what happens here. They're waving the runner home, and it's going to be a 2-run double for Raphael. The Royals lead 2-0 here in the first. Korchanowski is the cleanup hitter for Seattle. Got a courtesy runner out there at second base. So 2 come in on the double to left field. And the first offering is too high, ball 1. Seattle donning, typical traditional Royals uniform. Base hit right field. He hit that ball a ton. Here comes the runner around third to score. And the Royals now lead it by a score of 3-0. Next up for the Seattle-based team is going to be Fattori, as Nate Hill at the top of your screen will courtesy run at second base. So 4 batters have come to the plate. Against Steve Healy, and he just beaned his second batter. First and second, nobody out. Donning a vintage Montreal Expos batting helmet, Rob Howard. So 5 up, and 5 all have reached base here for Seattle in the top of the first inning. We mentioned earlier that Seattle comes in here 2-2. They got 1 more game tomorrow. That's a called strike, quality pitch on the outside corner. First and second, nobody out here in the top of the first inning. And a ball that took an unusual hop goes out to the shortstop. It had so much spin on it. It spins away from the shortstop. That's going to be an infield hit, and the bases are loaded. Here's Razakowski coming up there with the bases loaded, still nobody out. He takes a strike. That is the first time Steve has gotten over the first pitch, I believe, for a called strike. 0-1. Infield playing back. They don't want to make this any bigger of an inning. And here's a fly ball out into right field, and that ball is going to be in. It's going to split the outfielders. It's going to go to the warning track. 2 runs are going to be in. 3 runs are going to score, and just like that, it is now 6-0. So a 3-run triple for Ryan as he goes to the gap in right center field. Ryan Knoll will be the next batter. And still nobody out. 6-0 Seattle here in the top of the first inning. Slight breeze blowing in from center field. First pitch called strike outside part of the plate, and it's 0-1. In the air, and that's going to be out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Knoll. Popped him up. That's going to be back and out of play. So another 0-2 pitch coming up here from starting pitcher Steve Healy. Kevin Rudnicki did a good job, saved a run there with that outstanding play behind home plate. And now the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a bouncing ball up the middle and into center field. It's 7-0 Seattle. Next batter up is Plinkovic. And still Seattle batting here in the top of the first inning. Still nobody out. And that one just a bit high. 1 ball and no strikes. 95 degrees is our game time temperature. Fortunately, there is a slight breeze coming in from center field, but it's not going to cool anybody off in the direct sunlight. The 1-0, and it's outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, as we play this game, Major League Baseball is in their league championship series. Philadelphia and Arizona, Houston and Texas. Grounded foul. Pitch to the left-hander. Swing and a miss. Couple of strikes on him. Nate Hill is on deck for Seattle. Runner at first. 7 runs in here in the first, and the high fastball got him. And that is the first out here in the top of the first inning from Goodyear. I'll bring up another tough competitor in this lineup, Nate Hill. Right-handed hitter. A toss over to first just to keep that runner honest. Hill trying to extend a 7-run top of the first for Seattle, and he swings and he misses. That one just off the outside corner. The count on Nate Hill is 2 balls and 1 strike. Carlos Solis gets the start at shortstop here today. And the 2-2. Hammered to left field and down the line, and this ball is going to drop in. Nice barehanded play out there by Silky Hill. And so a base hit to left field keeps things going with 1 out, first and second occupied. Hit number 5 here in the top of the first inning. John Nolan, the final hitter in the lineup for Andrew Holes and the Royals. He takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Right-handed hitter takes high, 1-1. Runners are at first and second, 1 down here in the top of the first. And a pop-up foul backing out of play, and it's 1-2. 7 runs on 5 hits so far for Seattle. And there's still only 1 out here in the first. Three balls, 2 strikes, and he lost him, ball 4. So the walks have really haunted BTOP here in this first inning. So Plinkovich will courtesy run at first base, and for the second time in this first inning, the bases are loaded. 4 free passes and 5 hits issued by Healy, still only 1 man out. And the lineup turns over. And Joshua Garcia, who was a little early on that breaking ball, and it's no balls and 1 strike on the leadoff hitter. He got hit by a pitch and came around to score earlier in this first. Rounded back up the middle, nice snare, take it to home and on to first, and did they turn the double play? They did, and that'll retire the side. Well, nice job, a 1-2-3 inning-ending double play. And at the end of a half an inning of play, Seattle 7 and the Ballers coming up from Goodyear. Getting a look at the starting pitcher here for the Royals out of Bellevue Community College, making his first start here in this 2023 MSBL World Series, is going to be the right-hander, Brandon Witz. Shortstop Carlos Solis will start things off. He's going after the first pitch, and he lines one out into right center field, a base hit. The ball gets away from the center fielder. Solis is going to go into second with a stand-up double, and a good start when you need 7 to equalize here in the bottom of the first. Here's a smash base hit up the middle. Here's Solis coming around third, and they're going to hold him up. A good play by the center fielder. And so they're at first and third as Landers goes after the first pitch from Brandon Witz and lines a single to center field. So 2 hard hit balls, exit velocity on that one, 91 miles per hour. We have a representative from StatCast, Google, on hand here at the ballpark as the throw goes to first and third with nobody out. So we will be able to give you not only exit velocity today, but the route to the baseball. So we'll see what happens. High fly ball out in the center field. That ball's hit well and off the glove of the center fielder. So the Ballers are on the board. Heading to third is Landers, and they're going to rule that a base hit. No error on the play, and it's now 7-1. Silky Hill with a base hit on a long fly ball to deep left center field. And here's Nichols. So obviously the strategy here for the Ballers is to be aggressive early in the count. Nichols, one of the top run producers. One reason why he's in that number 4 spot for the Ballers, and he's up there with 2 on and still nobody out in the bottom of the first. Kevin Rudnicki, the catcher for the Ballers, waits on deck. And the count will remain 0-2 on Nichols, the cleanup hitter. Tell you what, I mean, you think about that 7-0 start for Seattle, but, if the Ballers could pick up maybe at least 3, they've got 2 on with nobody out. I mean, that puts them right back into the ball game. But then you're going to have to get a little bit better pitching. 4 walks in the first, that top of the first inning really put them behind the 8 ball. High fly ball. This will get a run in. And the center fielder will make the catch and get it back in quickly. And here's the runner scoring in Landers. And now it's 7-2. Now Rudnicki, the catcher, 7-2 now. And still only 1 out. He was way ahead of that one. Fouls it off to the left side, and it's 0-1. So Brandon Witt's trying to get ahead of the hitters here. And fortunately for him in Seattle, they have faced a team that is very much called a free swinging team. Pop up third base side, and I don't know how in the world he still made the catch, and there's 2 down. Rob Howard at third base takes care of out number 2. That'll bring up Larry Hernandez. First pitch, and taking all the way a called strike. Good pitch on the inner half. I'll tell you what, I've seen a lot of spring training games out here over the many decades I've lived in Arizona, and I'll tell you, I've seen a multitude of major league players as this one is hit high and fairly deep to left. Now coming in as a left fielder, and he makes the catch. I've seen a lot of them drop fly balls on routine pop-ups, so don't feel so bad with that high sky and that bright sunlight as we head to inning number 2. A 7-2 lead for Seattle. You're watching APNvideo.com. Back here from the winter home of the Cleveland Indians and the Cincinnati Reds. Goodyear Baseball Park, again opened in 2009. We go to the top half of the second inning, and that is going to be, they're going to award him first base. That is the 3rd hit batsman. I think if you're Silky, you might want to get somebody up in the bullpen to hit 3 batters in less than, well, really in just an inning plus. 1 more, and he'll have to come out of the ball game. Well, here's Raphael. Rikana Shoto with a 2-run double in the first, bouncing ball down the third, gobbled up there, nice play, throw it to second, and on to first, and that's a 5-4-3 double play, and just like that, 2 down. Now Korchanowski batting, the cleanup hitter for the Seattle Royals, here in the top of the second inning. Changeup is upstairs, ball 1. 2-0. Kind of short arm that last pitch and left it way outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Korsanowski, and he fouls it back, and it's 2-1. The 2-1, way outside, 3-1. Steve Healy has hit 3 batters. He's walked 2 in an inning and 2/3. And a ground ball hit hard and into center field, a base hit. Hit number 6 for the Royals. Nick is going to be pulled for a courtesy runner, and he is now 2 for 2 at the plate. So a 2-out single extends the inning here for Seattle. Brett Vittori will bat with a runner at first and 2 down. And the first offering catches the inside corner. 0-1 the count. He was one of the 3 batters that have been hit in this game. Came around to score one of the 7 in the first. That's low, and it's 1-1. Second inning of work for starting pitcher Steve Healy. Seattle batting in the top of the second, leading 7-2. Wind the kick, the pitch, and a called strike. 2 strikes on Vittori, batting here in the top of the second. Well, they picked him off at first base. Our apologies, not getting over there fast enough. And so that'll end the inning. 1 hit and no one left on, as Seattle, who scored 7 in the first but none here in the second. We go to the home half. 7-2 Seattle. Josh Hurt will start things off here back at Goodyear Baseball Park. No balls and 1 strike. Witt's in his second inning of work. And here's a bouncing ball to the right side, and that one off the glove of the second baseman. We'll see if they rule that a hit or if that'll be an error. I believe they're going to charge an error on the Royals' second baseman. Cody Ousley will be the next hitter, strong left-handed hitter. Seattle did get 7 in the top of the first inning, but the Ballers came back with 2 of their own in the home half and now have the leadoff hitter aboard here in the home half of the second after a shutout inning of pitching in the top of this second inning by Steve Healy, the starting pitcher today for the BTOP Ballers. Left-handed hitter trying to get something going here against this tough right-hander. That's a strike. Silky Hill, the manager of the Ballers, telling his team between innings as this one's popped up, could be trouble. That ball's going to drop in, and that is going to be a base hit. Well, that high sky and that bright sun has wreaked havoc again already in this game. So the first 2 have reached here for the Ballers. That'll bring up Jeremiah Clark. And now Josh Nichols will courtesy run at first base for the Ballers. Smash down the left field line. He was all over that one. That's going to rattle into the corner. 1 run will score. Let's see if they can get a second run in. Here's Nichols around third. Here comes a throw to the plate, and it's not going to be in time. So Jeremiah Clark with a 2-run double down into the corner, and he has put the Ballers right back into the game, now trailing by 3. We may be in store for a very high-scoring game here from Goodyear. Swing and a miss. Now Booty Bossert. And we'll probably be mentioning Booty a lot in this broadcast, so you'll be getting a lot of Booty today. That's outside a ball to the hard-hitting right-hand hitter. 7-4 Seattle. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Well, we're about 40 minutes in. There's a 3-hour time limit. We started at 12:25. Tardy on the fastball. 2 strikes on Bossert. Well, Silky Hill, the manager of the Ballers, I think he'd be pretty happy to get it to a 7-5 count. You got a runner in scoring position at second base, and still nobody out. And you could still make this a big inning. Center fielder Doug Evans is on deck, and that is a balk called on Witz. And so the runner will move to third, 90 feet away from scoring their 5th run and cutting the deficit to 2. So Bossert at the plate. And a chopper to third. This will not score the run. And that's a big first out here for Seattle's defense. Smooth as silk down there, Rob Howard. Now the speedy Doug Evans digs in here from the right side, batting for the first time. Runner at third and 1 out. Ground ball to the shortstop, and they will concede the run. It doesn't matter. That's going to be an error on the shortstop, and all hands are going to be safe. The run scores, and now it's 7-5. As Seattle's lead has went from 7-0 to 7-5. Ernie Green bats with a runner at first and 2 down, and actually represents the tying run. 1 ball and no strikes to him. A chance to talk to Ernie before the game, and I know he is very happy to be here. He says first and foremost that he is coming back year after year because of the love of the game. And he's ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. That could bring the go-ahead run to the plate should he reach here. I think Witz has got to get an out right here, right now. And he is not going to get it, and that's ball 4. So now one of the best hitters on the field, and Solis coming to the plate. He led off the home half of the first inning with a double and comes up empty-handed. 0-1 the count as Witz trying to work out of a first and second 2-out jam. Ballers batting here in the home half of the second, trailing 7-5. Hammered to center field, hit it well. It's deep, battling the sun, and he hauls it in to. Now there's 2 down. I can't read my own handwriting. Lyle Landers had a base hit, and he chops one to the shortstop. He will go the short route to third, and now that is the final out of the second inning. But they fight back. They claw back to 3 more runs on the board and trail 7-5. The Royals on top, and they'll come up in the top of the third on APN. Heading now to the top half of the third inning as the Ballers have fought back from an early 7-0 deficit, and now it's 7-5. Fattori was at the plate in the second inning when the runner was picked off at first base, so he will lead things off here in the top of the third. Defensively for the Ballers, Ousley at first base, Hernandez at second, Solis at shortstop. And Landers is at third. Ground ball up the middle, and that one is a seeing eye base hit to center field. That is the 8th hit of the day so far for the team out in front, the Seattle Royals. Now Rob Howard, the third baseman, will bat. Nails it straight back up to the screen. 0-1 the count on the third baseman. He's made a couple of nice plays in the field so far. Steve Healy in his 3rd inning of work, the starting pitcher today for the Ballers. Lifted in the air to center field. They were playing relatively deep. It kind of carries, and the ball will be caught by the center fielder Evans, and there's 1 down. Silky Hill getting the start out in left field. Evans with the put out a moment ago in center. Clark is in right field. Rudnicki catching for Steve Healy. Razakowski, the runner, got a tremendous jump and was halfway to second base when Healy made the delivery to home plate. So an easy steal that time. So they have a runner in scoring position with one out here in the top of the third inning. Ryan had that 3-run triple in the 7-run first. He bats here in the top of the third. And a ball lifted out into right field. Long run. This one's going to drop in front of Clark. He'll make the play. Needs to get a ball back in, and he finally does. And the runners stay put at first and third. The Ballers have already turned in one double play on defense, and they could use one here. Fastball too high. 1 ball, no strikes. Ryan, an RBI single his first time up. Bats with runners at first and third. 1 down here in the top of the third. Well, the check of the runners, and now the pitch to the plate. And now time is called at home plate. 7-5 Royals as they bat here in the top of the third inning. Runner goes, and a ground ball that's going to find the hole, and it will find left field for a run-producing single, and the lead is back up to 3 at 8-5. Now Adam Plenkovich. Easy for me to say. First and second. So Ryan Knoll comes through with his second run-producing at bat. He had an RBI hit his first time up. He stands at first base with another one. Here in the top of the third, the Royals lead the Ballers 8-5, and he got under that one, pops it up. Shallow left center field, and the shortstop Solis will make the play. And there's 2 down here in the top half of inning number 3. So a big out here for the Ballers defense. 2 down, runners at first and second. That'll bring up Nate Hill. He's 1 for 1. And the fastball missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes on Nate Hill. Seattle got 7 in the first and 1 here in the top of the third and trying to add more. 2 balls and no strikes on Nate Hill. Two down here in the inning, and the pitch. And apparently that's a called strike, and it's 2-1. The BTOP Ballers in the field, trailing 8-5, top of the third. It stands for Baseball Training for Old People. Healy has already picked off 1 runner. That was last inning in this game. Now the 2-strike pitch. Line drive, base hit into right center field. Here comes the runner around third, and he is going to score. The trail runner moves to third, and it's now 9-5, so the lead back up to 4. So Nate Hill picks up the team's 11th hit of the day. And a smash to left field. This ball is going to drop in front of Silky for a hit. That's going to plate another run. So John Nolan picks up the 3rd RBI hit of the inning for Seattle, and the lead is extended to 10-5. 7 has been their biggest lead so far when they led 7-0 after a half an inning of play. Lineup turns over. Josh Garcia back up there for already the 3rd time. He's been hit by a pitch. He has flied out. He has scored a run. And a ground ball to the shortstop. Got the inconvenient big bad hop and not even close to the bag. And did he call him out? And he did, and that's going to say he was out. I think when he caught the ball, he was not even on the bag. But nonetheless, they get 3 runs. They have pounded out 11 hits, Seattle has so far, and we go to the home half of the third, and the Royals lead the Ballers 10-5. Head now to the home half of the third inning. Jeff Lowry with you, apmvideo.com, and the third inning for Brandon Witz, today's starting pitcher for the Royals. And he's been staked to a 5-run lead. Silky Hill will start things off. Ouch. I don't think he was expecting to get hit on the very first pitch. As the 4th hit batsman of the game. 3 by Ballers pitching. That'll bring up the hard-hitting cleanup hitter, Josh Nichols. Wilt's very unusual as this one is lifted in the air. Boy, they are playing really deep, and that ball's going to drop in, and that is going to be a fair ball. I'm not sure why the Royals are playing so deep. I think the strategy maybe in this situation is to force Nichols to hit the ball over their heads. That one drops in for a base hit, and the first 2 have reached here. Now the catcher, and he's hacking at the first pitch and then fouls it straight back. The base hit by Nichols a moment ago is the 6th hit of the day for the Ballers. The pitch to Kevin. Just inside, and the count evens 1-1. Home half of the third inning, 10-5 is our score, with Seattle in the field on deck. 2-1 as he misses with a 2-seam fastball. And a little looping line drive over the shortstop's head, and the bases will be loaded. So Kevin picks up the 7th hit of the day for the Ballers. He'll be courtesy run. It just seems like every time Seattle puts some runs up on the board, the Ballers are right back to counter. Bases loaded, nobody out, and Larry Hernandez taking ball 1. He flied out to left field to end the first inning. As BTOP batting here in the bottom half of the third inning, and that's a strike called. Josh Hurt is on deck for the Ballers. And a chopper down to third. That's a fair ball, and they're going to come home with it. They have to make the tag, and that's going to be a 5-2 double play. I'm not sure what happened in that situation. Silky Hill, the manager of the Ballers, he just kind of froze on that ground ball. I don't know if he just simply didn't pick up the ball when the ball was hit. So let's see if the Ballers can prevail. That was some bad luck there. And here's a shot, base hit into left field. They're going to wave the runner around. Here comes the throw. Should be cut off. The quick throw to the plate. And it gets away from the catcher. And now both runners move up into scoring position. It's 10-6. RBI single for Hurt. So a clutch hit here for Hurt. And that kind of keeps the Ballers still in the ball game, now down 10-6. And a good job of going the opposite field. Ousley. High drive into center field, and it's going to be caught. That'll retire the side. They leave 2, they score 1. 3 in the books. 10-6 Royals on APN in the 36th annual MSBL World Series. Heading out the top half of the fourth inning, Jeff Lowry with apmvideo.com. And, well, we got a good one here as these two teams are really battling. A 7-run first, top of the first for Seattle. Really put the Ballers behind the 8 ball, but then they got back to within 7-5. They gave up 3 in the third, but came back with 1 in the bottom of the third, and now trail 10-6 as they take the field. Anderton will start things off, batting for the third time. He has walked, he has been hit by a pitch, and he has scored a run. Steve Healy in his 4th inning of work, the starting pitcher for the Ballers. And he offered it that one. They will not appeal. And now they do appeal, and the first base umpire says he did not go around. The next delivery is bounced to the shortstop, and he got the nice hop. And a perfect throw on to first base, 1 down. Solis. Could be the best all-around player on the field here today. Kana Shoto will bat for the 3rd time. Bounced into a 5-4-3 double play his last time up, and he skies one to Solis at shortstop. Having trouble and could not come up with it. And so Raphael is aboard. Now Nick Korshinovsky will bat. Cleanup hitter for the Royals. Runner at first, 1 out. A 97 degrees, our current temperature on this October 18th. Grounded foul, third base side. Runner at first with 1 out. And that is the 4th hit batsman of the day. And runners will be at first and second with 1 out. That's interesting. Unless they have changed this rule, but 4 hit batsmen in one game used to be that you had to come out of the ball game or at least come off the pitcher's mound. And I don't know if these guys even know that rule exists unless they've changed it over the last couple of years. So now first and second, and here's a rocket into left field. That's a base hit. And they'll go station to station. Well, StatCast says that ball traveled at an estimated 87 miles per hour off the bat. Brett Fattori. That is the 13th hit of the day for Seattle, who leads it here 10-6 in the top of the 4th. High fly ball foul, backing out of play for Howard. No balls and 1 strike on the Seattle third baseman. 0-2. Well, these young ladies are having a good time chasing foul balls. Ground ball to the right side. It's bobbled. They'll get 1 there and will not turn the double play as the 11th run of the game scores for Seattle, and they lead by 5. Razakowski batting for the 3rd time. 11-6. Runners are at first and third with 2 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Seattle batting. A 3-run triple his first time up, and that 7-run first for Seattle. No balls, 1 strike the count. He's 2 for 2. He has produced a total of 5 runs, 3 ribbies, 2 runs scored. First and third, pitch outside, and it's even at 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1. Steve Healy, starting pitcher. Trying to pick up the 3rd out of this top of the 4th inning. High drive, right field, could be trouble. Long run, it's going to be caught. So Clark with a run-scoring, a run-saving catch, maybe even save 2 runs with that outstanding play in right field. They get a run, they leave a couple, and we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Seattle is up 11-5. Check that, 11-6. Heading now to the bottom half of inning number 4 back here at Goodyear Park in the 36th annual MSBL World Series. And so many times you see it in baseball, a guy will make a spectacular catch or a really nice catch like Clark did and then lead off the next half inning. He had a 2-run double his first and only time up, so already having a pretty nice day here at the ballpark. He's quickly ahead, 3 balls and 1 strike. Well, it's an absolutely gorgeous day for our national pastime. The only problem is it's 97 degrees out here. Hammered foul. Witts in his 4th inning of work, the 3-2 offering to Clark. And he hits one and just kind of placed it in no man's land in left field, and that's a base hit, the 7th hit of the day for the Ballers. So Clark stands at first base. He's 2 for 2. That is actually the 9th hit of the day for the Ballers. 11-6 is our score. It's Seattle in the field, and they have the lead. A swing and a miss by Bossert. Just off the plate. You almost sense that Witts is balking every time, but that's part of his natural delivery. Two balls and 1 strike with a runner at first base and nobody out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Swing and a miss. 2-2 is now the count. Of course, we do have a 3-hour time limit. We're approaching the halfway point. We're about 10 minutes away from an hour and a half. Can't start a new inning once we've passed that 3-hour threshold. Jeremiah Clark is at first base with a leadoff single for the Ballers. And that one is in the dirt. No advancement of the runner. Nice job by John Nolan keeping that ball at least fairly close and keeping the runner at first at bay. Two balls, 2 strikes. Check that 3-2, and that's going to be ball 4. Next up is Doug Evans. So the Ballers have a rally going here in an inning in which they're down by 5. First pitch, this one gets away. Both runners move up 2nd and 3rd. So that keeps the Ballers out of a potential ground into a double play situation. The wind, the kick, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Still nobody out here. Evans reached on an error but was credited with an RBI back in the 2nd inning. Seattle in the field in the all-white uniforms, leading 11-6. 2nd and 3rd, no out. Foul ball back. The wind, the kick, the pitch. And a swing and a miss, and he's got the strikeout. First out of this home half of the 4th inning for Seattle. Now Ernie Green, he walked his only time up. Back in that 3-run 2nd inning for the Ballers. That's a strike called. He gets out in front, and it's 0-1. You got to get a couple here, I think. Seattle putting up 11 runs in 4 innings so far, and you would have to anticipate they're going to get more than that. I think right now Silky Hill, the manager of the Ballers, he's hoping maybe to get a big inning here. Way inside, 1-2. Witts kicks and deals, and it is just off the plate, 2-2. Green drew a walk his first and only time up in the 2nd inning. Another 2-strike pitch. And he called him out on a pitch that looked like it might have even been in the batter's box. It's hard for us to tell up here because we're at a little bit of an angle. So there is 2 down here in the inning, and we go back to the top of the order in Solis. 2 down. And a ground ball to third. Gobbled up there by Howard. The throw across is in time. And a nice job by Witz and his defense to get out of the inning unscathed. After 4, 11-6 Seattle. This is the 36th annual MSBL World Series. Top of the 5th inning, coming back from the winter home of the Cleveland Indians and the Cincinnati Reds, Goodyear Baseball Park. Steve Healy comes out for inning number 5 here, the starting pitcher for the BTOP Ballers. Ryan Knoll will be the first batter up here for the Seattle Royals, who lead it by 5, top of the 5th inning. Well, on this date back in 1977, one of the most memorable days in World Series history. First pitch is in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Reggie Jackson hit 3 consecutive home runs to lead the Yankees to an 8-4 victory over the Los Angeles Dodgers, as the count goes to 0-2. It gave the Yankees a World Series championship. They won in 6. Back in 1977, that was the first Yankee championship since the, I think it was early 60s. I want to say 63 maybe. Two-strike pitch. And that ball is hit to Solis, and he kind of let that ball play him, and that'll be an error. And the leadoff hitter is aboard for Seattle here in the top of the 5th. So Ryan is aboard for the 3rd time in 3 tries. He was 2 for 2 going into that at bat. Now Plenkovich. First pitch. And a ground ball to the right side. It's bobbled. The only play will be at first, and they get the out. Always got to get at least one. So Landers with the assist on the play. Runner at second and 1 out. Nate Hill has had 2 singles and 2 tries, including an RBI single back in the 3rd. Also on this date, back in 1988, A's Mark McGwire homers off Jay Howe in the bottom of the 9th inning to give the A's a 2-1 victory in Game 3 of the World Series. That would be the only game they would win that year in the World Series. Upset by the Dodgers. Of course, that was the World Series that Kirk Gibson had that dramatic pinch hit home run to right field off Dennis Eckersley, and one of the great moments in World Series history. Came up there, wasn't even supposed to play. Came up to the plate limping and hit maybe the most popular, maybe the most infamous home run in World Series history, in the history of Major League Baseball. Nate Hill at the plate. Runner at second and 1 out. And he puts a charge into this one. Silky is back, fighting the sun, and he makes the catch. 2 down. So there's 2 down in the inning, and here's catcher John Nolan. And he wallops one down the line. It's deep, and it's going to be a foul ball. Seattle leads it 11-6 as they bat here in the top of the 5th inning. That's a called strike and a throw down, and nobody was home. That'll go sailing out into center field. And that'll be an error on the catcher, unfortunately, for Kevin Rudnicki, who was anticipating someone kind of almost like that daylight play you see with the pitcher and the shortstop or the second baseman. Can't afford to give up any more runs if you are the Ballers, down by 5 already. Now the pitch to Nolan coming up. Yep, time is called. Nolan, who has caught the entire game, might have a little bit of stiffness in that one of the legs. Let's see how he does here against Steve Healy, the starting pitcher for BTOP. And here is the next delivery, and he missed way outside. Not too many pitchers want to miss that far. You want to sell that pitch as if it's going to be close to the strike zone, and now Nolan has run the count full. In the last two pitches, yeah, you kind of notice Steve maybe didn't have the normal follow-through like he usually does, and he's kind of lost that rhythm. And now we may have a play at the plate, and the throw actually beat the runner, but the run will score to make it 12-6 in favor of Seattle. Now the count is 3-2 on the catcher, and both these teams still have one more game to play tomorrow, as this age group started on Monday. The pitch is swung on and missed, and that will retire the side. They get a run, leave none. And halfway through this one, even though we may hit that 3-hour time mark first, a 6-run lead for Seattle. Home half of the fifth inning. Jeff Lowry with you from Goodyear, and Landers comes out swinging and driving a ground base hit into left field on the very first pitch by Witz. So Landers with his second hit in 3 tries. He's been on base in each of the 3 at-bats he has had in this contest this afternoon. That'll bring up the manager, Silky Hill, for the Ballers, who trail 12-6 here as they bat in the bottom of the 5th inning. They've been out hit 12-10. And really, I mean, Healy's done a great job of kind of settling after that 7-run first. But it was the 4-hit batsman and 3 walks in the game, and it's really tough to hold a team down when you're giving up that many free passes. Ground ball third, second one, back to first. That's a double play. There's 2 down in the inning. Howard started it and then got it over to Garcia, and Garcia with a tremendous turn at second base. So each team's defense has turned in a 5-4-3 double play in this contest, and now Nichols for the 3rd time. So a nice twin killing, pitcher's best friend. 2 down. Nichols a sac fly back in the first. Singled and scored in the 3rd inning. Ballers come to the plate trailing 12-6. We're in the home half of the 5th. Well, we roughly have an hour and I'd say maybe an hour and 15 minutes left to go. We started at 12:35. Well, we're giving you those what happened in Major League Baseball in this date. Got an interesting one here as that one's fouled off. The first World Series ever played in the state of Florida. Moises Alou and Charles Johnson smacked back-to-back home runs against Cleveland's Oral Hershiser to make a 7-4 winner out of Levon Hernandez in Game 1. That's when 1997. The Marlins 1-2. Ground ball left side, gobbled up there by Howard. And the throw across is perfect and in time. We're heading to the 6th. Howard playing a nice hot corner this afternoon from Goodyear. 12-6 Royals will be back. Well, Seattle comes to the plate here in the top of the 6th inning. And the first batter facing ball 1. Jason Barr added to the bottom of the order, takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Or a versatile player coming off the bench for Andrew Holes. That's a swing and a miss. And hoping they maybe get something going. I don't know if a 6-run lead is enough to win this game. The way they've been scoring, 18 total runs in this game, and we're only in the top of the 6th inning. So Healy now in his 6th inning of work, and I mean, you got to really tip the cap to him. He gave up, 7 runs, had control problems in that first, but since then, he's done a nice job for his teammates, and he's given them a chance to at least stay in the game. Here's a looper to the right side, fielded on one hop, quick throwing to first base, and he is gone for out number 1. So Lyle Landers had no time to waste, fielding that soft line drive on one hop, and he was able to throw out the runner by a half a step. 1 down. And we turn the Seattle order over as this first pitch is fouled off by Josh Garcia, the slick fielding second baseman. 0-1 the count on Garcia. The windup and the pitch. And strike 2 called on this date in 1992. Ed Sprague, the third baseman for the Toronto Blue Jays, hit a 2-run homer in the 9th inning as that one's taken high, 1-2. Off right-hander Jeff Reardon in Game 2 of the World Series in 92 and gave Toronto a 5-4 win over the Braves, and that evened the series up. Out of play. Close-up look at Garcia. Another 2-strike pitch to the second baseman and a ground ball towards the shortstop. Solis has to unload quickly, and he is not going to get him. That's an infield hit. So he is aboard with the 13th hit of the game for Seattle. And he is at first base with 1 out. Actually hit number 14 on the day. John Anderton. Upstairs 2-0. In 1910 on this date, the Philadelphia Athletics pounded the Cubs 9-3 for a 2-0 lead in the World Series. Eddie Collins, as this one is grounded to the right side, Landers. Second one, Solis. That's a double play to end the inning. That is a double play, 4-6-3. And that'll retire the side. A great job by the Keystone combination. They head back to the first base dugout, trailing by 6. We'll be back in just a moment. Back here at Goodyear Baseball Park, we head now to the home half of inning number 6. This afternoon affair in nearly triple-digit temperatures in the Valley of the Sun. We're in Goodyear, Arizona. And Landers drills another base hit. He has hit the ball hard, and he is aboard. He has been on base all 4 times. Well, my apologies. That was Kevin Rudnicki. I got back up here a little late. Sorry about that. Larry Hernandez. Oh, he got into that one. A high fly ball, but it's going to hold up for the left fielder, and that's the first out. The throw came all the way back to first base and hit pinch runner Nichols in the back. So a nice catch out in left field, and the next batter grounds one. A seeing eye base hit to center field, and they're at first and second with 1 out. So Josh Hurt with a base hit. That's the second hit of the inning. Here in the home half of the 6th inning as the Ballers are trying to cut into a 6-run deficit. Here's Ousley taking a ball just under the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. So the 2 hits here run the game total in hits to 12 for the Ballers. 14 in total for the leading Seattle Royals here in the home half of the 6th inning, who lead it 12-6. The Ballers have not scored since the 3rd inning. Here's a shot out into center field. Long run, and the catch is going to be made. 2 down. So the speedy Nate Hill making the play out in center field. 2 down. Two down for Jeremiah Clark. He's had a 2-run double, a run scored, and a single. 2 for 2 at the plate. Takes a strike. And finally, this day in baseball history, the last one in 1950, and I think this is just incredible. I can't imagine anybody ever breaking this record. First the pitch, as Witz is now in his 6th inning of work for Seattle. Connie Mack, and many of you probably never heard of him. At age 87, he retired as manager of the Philadelphia Athletics after 50 years. And then Jimmy Dykes was named his replacement. Mack, together with Ben Scheib, founded the Athletics in 1901. Connie Mack won more games, I think, than any other manager in baseball history, and he also lost more than any other. 50 years. A big swing and a miss. Let's see if Clark can plate a run or two here. Made a great play out in right field that saved a run and end the inning. And as we mentioned, a 2-run double and a single at the plate here in 2 tries. The pitch. Upstairs. Yeah, Connie Mack, I mean, probably, I don't know if he was the only one to do it, but if you see those old reels, you know, most managers will wear a baseball uniform, but he always wore a suit. Here's a drive, base hit down the left field line, and it gets by the left fielder. Here comes Nichols around with the 7th run, and the throw will be cut off, and that'll be an RBI double, and Clark just continues to rake in this contest. So his 2nd RBI double, he's driven in 3. He has scored 1. And that outstanding play in right field, 12-7 is now the score. 13 hits now in total for the Ballers. And here's Booty. Second and third. He might have. That one's foul. Jason Barr out in left field may have either taken his eye off the ball or he might have just kind of rushed it. I don't think he had a great chance of throwing the runner out. He might have. I mean, Nichols is certainly not Ricky Henderson. Chopper, shortstop, low throw, and it gets away. It's going to stay in play. And now you got to probably throw it to second, and the runner is having trouble, and they throw that away. He's going to head for third. 2 runs come in on a pair of errors, and we got a new ball game. It is now 12-10. So Booty Bossert drives in the run. He'll get 1 RBI on the play, and we're going to get a break in the action and a trip to the mound by Andrew Holes, his starting pitcher, in trouble. And now the tying run comes to the plate. It's 12-10 Royals here in the home half of the 6th. I think that might have been a good visit that time by Holes because his pitcher, I think, maybe just needed a quick mental break. Now activity is going to, well, they got him stirring up down the left field line and get some activity in that Royals bullpen. This is a key game for the Royals. at 2-2, and they don't want to let this one go, especially after building a 7-run lead after a half an inning, and then coming into this inning, they were up by 6. So winnable games. Line drive, base hit down the left field line. Another run is in. Doug Evans with a line drive down the left field line, and he plates the run. His second RBI of the game, and it's now 12-11, and I think we're going to get a new pitcher. So the day is over for Brandon Witz out of Bellevue Community College. 5 2/3 innings. He gives up 11 runs, and the tying run at first base, his responsibility. So the manager of the Royals is going to put himself in as the second pitcher used here today. Now Ernie Green facing the new pitcher and the manager of Seattle, Andrew Holes, and strike called on the first offering. 2 out, tying run at first. Seattle in the field leading it 12-11. And a little soft ground ball that Andrew somehow, some way came up with it. He gets it over to first, and they maintain the lead. So Seattle will maintain the lead. It's 12-10. And a good job of damage control in the inning. Rafael to start things off. He's hit the ball very hard today, and another inning, 7th inning of work for Steve Healy, who went the front 6 in this one so far, and he comes back with a 2-seam fastball and gets ahead 0-1. Well, his team has got him back in this game. It's 12-11, but Seattle still leads it 1-1. Rikana Shoto has a 2-run double. He has reached on an error. He's 1 for 3, 2 RBIs and a run scored. 125, right around, we don't have the official pitch count, 125 pitches for Healy. Oh, it is, okay. Thank you. No, we stand corrected. I was trying to give the Ballers an extra run, so it's 12-10 is our score, 12-10. Popped him up. Oh, he dropped the ball. I don't know if that got up into the sun or not, but that'll be an error, and the leadoff hitter is aboard. 12 runs, 14 hits now, the total for Seattle, the Royals. The Ballers have 10 runs, and they have 14 hits. And that, I think, got a piece of him. Well, I could hear that up here, but he's not taking the base. Ball 1. Hit hard and into left field, a base hit. The first 2 are aboard. Well, every time the Ballers have been etching their way closer to that Seattle lead, Seattle comes right back and starts putting the ball in play and getting runners on base. Now first and second, and a shot out into right field, a base hit. The runner is coming around third. Here comes a long throw to the plate, but it won't be in time. That allows the other runners to move up 90 feet. Second and third, it's now 13-10 Seattle. So Panalago, batting for the first time, drives an RBI single into right field. Exit velocity on that one was in the mid-90s. And the next batter up, and he drills one foul. Over 100 on the exit velocity on that screaming line drive into the second row of seats down the left field line. Next pitch to Brian is upstairs. Brian Bill waiting for the 1-1, and a clobbered ball down the line and out of play. Well, he's seeing the ball extremely well, even though the two hard hit balls were out of play, foul balls, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes, batting for the first time, I believe, for Rob Howard, who's had a very nice game today. And now 3-2. That pitch was outside. Howard has an RBI, run scored, 1 for 3, and had played very well at third base defensively. Payoff pitch and a good eye. He laid off, and the bases are loaded. Well, right now the pitch count over 140. And you got to tip your cap to him, because, I mean, there are few people that could throw this amount of pitches and still have, something behind his pitches. Bases loaded, nobody out. And a first pitch ground ball up the middle into center field. 1 run is going to come in. Here comes the second run. The throw will be cut off. It is a 2-run single for Razakowski, and they pick up 3 runs after the Ballers score 4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. And here in the top of the 7th inning, they have extended the lead to 15-10. Runners are at first and second. A lot of offense in this one, and this might be more. Driven to right, and it's going to fall in front of Clark for a base hit, and they will be bases loaded now. Still nobody out here for Seattle as they flex their muscles, leading 15-10. Well, Steve talking to Jason Nichols, who's kind of the manager, along with Silky Hill, the left fielder. He's getting kind of close to 150 pitches thrown in this inning, or in this ball game. Nobody out, bases loaded after the base hit by Knoll, and now Klinkovich, who's looking for his first hit of the game. Seattle with the bases loaded, no out, top of the 7th. And leading by 5. That was a pretty good looking pitch. And a wave and a miss. He came back with a sinking pitch. I don't know if that fastball had a little sink to it. He hasn't thrown a sinker all day, but that thing was biting down a little bit. With the bases loaded and nobody out, Seattle leads 15-10. The 2-strike pitch upstairs. Well, that gets away. The catcher, does he have a play at the plate? No. It was a lot closer than I thought it would be, and on the wild pitch, it's now 16-10 Seattle. And actually, this is Kevin Swartz, so you have to forgive me. They were telling me when there was a batting change, and that ball hit him, and the bases are loaded. I think that's the 5th hit batsman today. And that's going to be it for him as he departs after hitting his 5th batter. And I'll tell you, he was right around 150 pitches unofficially. And what a gamer. What a gamer Steve Healy is. So he's coming out of the ball game. Right now, Seattle, bases loaded, nobody out, up by 6. Lyle Landers is going to be the new pitcher here for the Ballers in the top half of the 7th inning. He will inherit the bases loaded and nobody out. Well, Nate Hill comes to the plate with a chance to break this one wide open. The biggest lead of the game was after the 7-run top of the first inning by Seattle. This 6-run lead at 16-10 marks their second, tied for their second biggest lead of the game. They also led 12-6 a couple of innings ago. That's a strike. Nate Hill is 2 for 3 with a pair of singles and an RBI. That's outside 1-1. So Lyle Landers in relief of today's starting pitcher, Steve Healy, who went 6 2/3. We got his pitch count maybe in the 150 range. That's unofficial. A swing and a miss, and Hill helping out Landers, chasing a pitch that was clearly out of the strike zone. A couple of strikes on him. Well, the Ballers would take a double play in lieu of giving up a run in this situation. Instead, the slider gets Hill, and that's the first out of the inning. Next batter up is going to be catcher John Nolan. Bounces one up there. Nice job by the backstop keeping that ball and keeping the runner at third base. Got about close to 40 minutes still left on the 3-hour time limit. We started first pitch at 12:35, if you're wondering. Breaking ball is in there. That one is out of play. Look out. Nolan has been to the plate 3 times. He has a base hit and a walk. And showing a pretty good patient eye up there at the plate against the new pitcher, Lyle Landers. 1 out, bases loaded. Seattle trying to add on to a 16-10 lead here. We're in the top of the 7th. Fouled off that pitch. He didn't like it, and that's what good hitters do. You foul off the ones that are going to be a pop out or a ground ball to somebody, and maybe the next pitch will be right down the middle for you. And that is ball 4. He did not go around. The run will score. Up, they appeal. He did not swing, and Seattle now leads on the walk by Nolan, 17-10. So the second walk by Nolan, his second RBI at bat in this game. Still only 1 out. Jason Barr, the left fielder, who was added to the bottom of the order a couple of innings ago, is back up there for the second time. He grounded out 4-3 in his only at bat. Bases remain loaded. In what has been a 5-run inning for the Royals. The wind, the pitch, and a looper past the shortstop out in the left center field. A hit. 1 run will score. They'll go station to station, and it's 18-10. Matt Richards is going to be added to the bottom of the order for Seattle. So Richards comes to the plate, his team up by 8 when he comes to the plate with the bases loaded. The windup in the pitch. And a high slider, high curve. 1 ball and no strikes to Richards. Sacks full of Royals. You got a pretty good ball player right here in Richards. Popped him up. Now remember, that's a tough sky. It's going to drop in for a hit. The 7th run of the inning is going to score. And the bases remain loaded. It is now 19-10. Now Bandura batting for the first time. He's added to the bottom of the order. First pitch outside, ball 1. Well, we still got better than a half hour, I believe, left on that 3-hour time limit. So still a lot of baseball left to be played here. Not that I'm rooting for one team or the other. You kind of like to have seen a little closer game. I mean, to give up 8 runs here when they clawed back and pulled to within 2. Now the Ballers are going to get another at bat. They could get 2 more at bats. Like I said, there's still 32 minutes left to go. We start at 12:35. Here's a high can of corn out into medium depth right field, and the runner will tag. He will come in and score, and this is a 9-run Seattle Royal inning. Now did he drop the ball? He did drop the ball, but they get the fielder's choice at second for 2 down. So Bandura will be credited with a sacrifice fly, and they get the fielder's choice at second. No error. Top of the order, and here's Garcia. Been a key component in this one, as the Royals have doubled up the score of the Ballers here, 20-10. Two down here in the top of the 7th. And the runner is going, and he will make it without a throw. So Bandura will be credited with a stolen base. It's not a defensive indifference. And that's ball 4, and the bases are loaded again. And that ball got him. So John Anderton is going to be credited with his first RBI of the game. And now it's 21-10. It is a 9-run inning? I'll get Price Waterhouse out here to tally up all these runs. It is a 9-run inning. It's 21-10. Raphael has been on base 3 times. He's reached on an error twice. He had a 2-run double in that 7-run first. He has scored 3. He has driven in 2. So a big day at the plate for Raphael, and trying to add on to it here. It was 12-10 going into this 7th inning. But they have put 9 on the board, and they're going to add another one to make it a even bigger deficit here from Goodyear Ballpark. And from Goodyear Ballpark, this has been a big inning, the biggest run-producing inning that we have seen this year. And a swing and a miss. Nick had an RBI single in the first, a single in the second. He's been hit by a pitch, and a single and a run scored earlier in the inning. 7th inning action. And he gets hit by a pitch. So that is the 6th batter that has been hit today by Ballers pitching, and the 7th in the game. Well, a big inning here. And it is amazing sometimes how an inning can just simply get away. And Panalago with a foul ball. Had an RBI single earlier in this inning. Seattle has more runs than they do hits in this game. Line drive into right field. That's a base hit. One run is going to score. Here comes a second run. And it's a two-possession game here. Two-run single by J.D. Panalago. And it's all Seattle. First offering is taken high for ball one. Brian Bill batting for the second time in the inning. Well, this is a pivotal game for Seattle, and I would say you can almost put this one in the old deep freeze. They came in with a 2-2 record, and you start getting into the games 3 and game 4, and those are games that you have to win unless you get out to a 2-0 start. 6 games in 4 days in round robin play in this 40 and over Central Division. The Ballers have yet to win. They have one tie and looking at their 4th loss here in pool play. And a swing and a miss. Good cut there by Brian. Brian batting in the 7th position, previously occupied by the third baseman, Rob Howard, who I thought had a really nice game defensively, made all the routine plays at third base. The pitch. And a swing and a miss, and mercifully, this inning has come to an end. Or at least the top of the 7th. We go to the home half. Seattle with a big-time lead here on APNvideo.com. Getting a wide shot of Goodyear Baseball Park, opened in 2009, 25-10 the score, Seattle on top after a 13-run top of the 7th inning. Now the talented shortstop Solis had a double and a run scored in the first inning. He's 1 for 3 overall, and that's outside and low. Second inning of work for the manager of the Seattle Royals, Andrew Holes. Came in relief of the starter Witz. Both these guys, the starting pitcher Brandon Witz and Andrew Holes, both attending Bellevue Community College a few years ago. Now, I think with the two teams already here and probably the score of this game, even though we started at 12:35, it was a 12:15 scheduled start. But you never know what the managers will do or the umpires will do in this situation. But I guess technically if you go with the start time of 12:35 and that's ball 4, if this would be a quick inning, if they would complete the 7th inning before 12:35, by rule they can start a brand new inning. So a leadoff walk, and now Lyle Landers had a couple of base hits. I gave Lyle an extra base hit. When Kevin came up, I was a little late coming back from the you-know-what room, so a swing and a foul tip as we play here in the home half of inning number 7. The Ballers needing, they're going to need a couple of touchdowns and maybe a 2-point conversion, maybe a couple of 2-point conversions to take the lead. Runner goes, and did they get him? No, safe. So a successful stolen base for Solis. I think they get him if Garcia is standing on the base. Let the ball travel to the glove instead of reaching out and then bringing the tag down. So many players you see out here do that. I've even seen some major leaguers doing that. And I think one of the things that you are taught is that the ball travels faster than you reaching out and catching the ball and then bringing it back and down to the bag. And that's a strike called, and Landers with a couple of strikes now in 3-2. But, you know, you got to catch the ball first. That's the most important thing. Because if you don't catch the ball, then you have absolutely no chance, and he just struck out swinging. So that is the first out. And a nice job to come back and get the strikeout by Andrew Holes. Silky Hill batting. In there for a strike. That's a good quality pitch. A two-seam fastball. It looked like it was maybe a little outside, and it broke over the outer part of the plate. And it's no balls and one strike on the manager of the Ballers. Change up, popped him up. That was hit high in the strike zone, and the first baseman's got it, and there's two down. All right, here's Nichols. Sac fly his first time up, and he has a base hit in 2 tries. Jeff Lowry with you, APM Video Sports. A reminder, if you'd like to reserve your game on our play-by-play video, go to apmvideo.com. The first pitch is in there for a called strike. Hey, don't forget to visit my good friend at the concourse at Tempe Diablo Stadium. The Hat Man, he's got some fake Oakley sunglasses this year for $10. Good job by our umpiring crew here today. And I'd like to thank Josh for setting up today's broadcast. Nichols trying to extend the bottom half of the 7th inning. And he loops one out into left center field, dropping in for a hit. Here comes the runner around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It'll be cut off. And they get a run. So Nichols, a 2 for 3 day, but he's had 2 run producing at bats in the game. Plus he's done a great job as a courtesy runner throughout the game. And he stands at first base. That cuts it to 25-11. Still need a couple of touchdowns and a couple extra points. Here's Kevin. He's had a couple of hits today. And Kevin has done an absolutely great job behind home plate. I mean, you talk about, you know, the 2 pitchers that were out there today for the Ballers, and I would assume as this one is grounded down to third off the glove, that's another hit. And Kevin has a 3-hit game, first and second. So Kevin has done a great job at the plate, and he's probably had the field about, you know, roughly 170 pitches in this game. And he's done a great job out there. I'd put him up for player of the game, no doubt about it. Now Hernandez. His last at bat, he popped out, but you could tell he just missed it. He was a little upset with himself, and a tremendous competitor that he is. And let's see if he can do something here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Not sure if this will be the last inning or not. First pitch was at 12:35. It is 3:23. So we got about 11 minutes on that 3-hour time limit, but I don't think they're going to start another inning, especially with the team waiting and the obvious run differential. And he had a good cut at a changeup there. All right, it all comes down to this. Andrew Holes in relief of his starting pitcher. The pitch to Hernandez. Hammered to center field. And that ball is off the glove of the center fielder. One run is going to score. It'll be an RBI hit for Larry Hernandez, and it's 25-12. He hit that ball pretty well. He got a little overspin on it. That's why it didn't sail on him. Exit velocity provided by StatCast at 96 miles per hour. All right, that'll bring up Josh Hurt. Runners at first and third, 2 out, and he goes after the first one and lines it to center, and Seattle will take this one on a fly ball to center field, and we'll see if we're going to come out and play another half inning. A couple of runs for the Ballers. We'll be back in just a moment. All right, they've called the game, and the final score 25-12 from Goodyear. The winning pitcher today is going to be Brandon Witts out of Bellevue Community College up in the state of Washington. And it was a game that really tests the endurance of both of these teams. A lot of credit to the Ballers for hanging in there. They got down 7-0 after a half an inning, but fought back. They were within 12-10 at one time. They were 7-5 down after the third. And so they're going to call it because this next half, this whole inning, they'd have to play a whole inning, and it's going to really put the games back. So nonetheless, special thanks to everyone involved. Jeff Lowry from Goodyear Ballpark saying, so long, everybody.